You can't help it.
I told you. Straight to the camera. Even at work, girl, I don't look at camera. I'm like, okay, I'm just looking down at the person. But yeah, it's cool, man. We're gonna do what we have to do. Okay, my name is Sheon Mustafa, Nigerian, born in Lagos, raised in Lagos before I actually moved down to the UK. So yeah, I guess that's an overview about myself. Yeah, I'm probably known as MistaOlogo. Some people call me Ologo, some people call me TeamOlogo, some people call me Ologo, but MistaOlogo is what people actually know me as. So yeah, I'm a musician. The thing is, Shegun is actually my middle name. So Shegun is actually my middle name. First name is Shegun, and yeah, Olua Shegun. So when I was actually gonna start music, I just thought, you know what, yeah, let me use my middle name rather than my first name. But I guess you know what, as time goes on, people just started picking up Shegun. They just thought, you know, okay, maybe Shegun is not my real name, and let's just start calling him Shegun Ologo. But yeah, Shegun is actually my name, Olua Shegun. Started off music when at the age of 10. Started off music. Obviously, I've started singing according to my parent. They say, you know, I've been singing since maybe whenever they can remember. But for me as a person, I started singing at the age of 10 back home in Nigeria with the help of my choir mistress, Auntie Yemi Sule. And did my first performance, that's live performance, at a wedding at the age of 15, 16. Choir, going to different harvests as a Mokeru. I'm a CNS boy, so I tend to go to a lot of concerts with my choir back then, and then moved on to setting up live band music at the age of 15. I wouldn't say I had my own live music at that time, as in my live band, but it was more like a collection of like different people in the choir, and then we did our own gig, and yeah, that was how I actually got into music. To be fair.
Now, age 15, first gig.
Yeah.
A few years later, I guess you came here to the UK.
Yeah, 3 years to be precise. 3 years after that.
Wow, okay. And you still continued with music?
Because like I said, I started off music at church. So I joined the choir, and I was nurtured in the choir by my choir mistress. So big up my choir mistress. I would say, with the grace of God and obviously help from my auntie, my choir mistress, Auntie Yemi, she was able to help me identify my strength, my weakness. And then obviously when I started off the music in Nigeria, I thought when I moved over to UK, I joined the choir as well, because you know what? It's just, when music is part of you, when you go to church, you can't sit still. You can't say, you want to go to one church and you want to be part of the member. So I had to join the choir. And then when I joined the choir, I started meeting my friends, started making friends with the choir members. I obviously started meeting people. And then a couple of years later, after that, then we just started off a band. That's how we actually started off a band called Olusegun Ologo at the back of that.
You've been known amongst the youth in the African scene as sort of the young hope. Because really, when we look at the scene, we have big players. Let me call names. We have big players like Sulek, big players like Melody.
Those are my boss.
Yeah, that's what I said, big players. Big players like Ekundayo.
Yeah.
Big players.
Yeah.
And then we have this emerging star who has actually come and is a force. And that's you. So what really made you stand out when you came here and just break through the way you have?
Honestly, I feel like it's just the grace of God. It's just grace of God. Like in everything that I do, even right from like when I started back at the age of 10. So I didn't even give you that backstory. So it was a night vigil that I went to, and then it's funny because you know what? It was a group of like kids that went to night vigil, and then when you go to night vigil in church back home in Nigeria at that time, you just go there to sleep. And then just to keep us occupied, my choir mistress just called a bunch of us and said, start singing this song. I can never forget it. That was my first song that I ever sing in public. And then when she heard me sing that song, at that that day, then she offered me 5 naira. And this was like a couple of years ago. It was big money for me them times. I'm not even gonna lie, still big money. So yeah, and for me, it's just the grace. It's grace of God. I can't say I'm better, or maybe I can sing or my voice is amazing. It's just God's grace. It's just God's grace. And obviously the industry as well, like all the names that you actually just mentioned earlier on, they kind of embraced me as well. Like when I actually entered the scene as well. So it's God's grace in a nutshell.
Okay, so when you did come onto the scene here, did you first understudy someone, or did you just go straight on?
No, I didn't,
Just
I didn't. You know what? Because the first person that I would ever see perform in the UK was Solek. I didn't know who Solek was. I didn't know who Melody was. I didn't know anybody. Like literally, me, I was JJC from Nigeria. Do you get what I mean? And I went to my auntie's party and I saw Solek singing Mowale Jesu. I was like, Mowale Ologo. And I was like, this man bangs though. Like, he can actually sing. I didn't shadow anybody. I have to be honest. Emmanuel E-Drum. So he was the one that actually started taking me out. Like, okay, then let's go to this place. Let's go to this party. And then that was when I knew John. Through John, I knew Melody. Then I knew Soji Alayo. And then Mr. Mana. And a few people like that. And it was through him that, I would say, I started me. But I didn't really go under and I'm like, yeah, let me start shadowing anybody. But obviously, I listened to a lot of music to understand the kind of, because obviously when you go to a new scene, you need to understand the kind of music, the kind of crowd. So I used to listen to a lot of like Melody, but I didn't really follow anybody and start saying I want to start shadowing at that time, but yeah.
Now, you mentioned your team. You mentioned E-Drums.
Yeah.
Now, if you check some of your first videos,
yeah,
E-Drums' head is there.
You said it true.
A couple of those boys have been with you. You've had your team for a while.
Yeah.
So what's kept you guys together?
It's love, man. You see, the thing is that my team, they're family. It's not like they are like family. They are not like, some people be like, oh, this brother is like, it's like my brother. They're not like that. They are actually my family. Do you get what I mean? So, like you said, all of my team, like they're my day ones. Like Josh has been playing for me since the beginning. Who else has been playing? Alex has been playing for me since the beginning. So literally, they are like family. All of them are family. Not like, I said they are like family. They are family. They are actually family. So that's what, and we enjoy what we do. Do you get what I mean? And I guess it's just the fact that we're all just family. Do you get what I mean? No hard feelings, no kilongorogwe. So that's the reason why we've all been together for that long.